Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching episode 9 of season 2 of My Adventures with Superman. So, with both Lois and Clark locked in the Black Mercy, this leaves Jimmy and Kara to try and get back to Earth, only for them to be captured by Amanda Waller and Lex Luthor. But then they happen to get assistance from Vicky Vale, Perry White, and Steve, of all people, in order to get out of their custody. Especially considering that arresting a journalist apparently goes against the Fourth Amendment. I did not know that. Well, that's the B story when it comes down here. The A story has to do with the simulation that Lois has to convince Clark to get out of. And yeah, having Lois be the one to get Clark out of this mind-controlled daze of his does make a lot of sense given that she's the emotional center of the show. Especially considering that Brainiac was using Clark's body to essentially declare war on the entire Earth, a battle that, of course, Earth would stand absolutely no chance against. And it's funny that this episode is called Pierce the Heavens, considering that it does evoke several feelings of Gurren Lagann. Only instead of a drill piercing the heavens, it's just Lois and Clark themselves that are piercing the heavens. Of the simulation, at least. Because Lois is actually given a Kryptonian strength in the simulation, which, given that the whole thing is taking place in Clark's mind, it would make sense that Clark sees her like that, because emotionally speaking and psychologically speaking, she's the strongest person he knows. And honestly, it really is a sign of how much Clark looks up to her in that way as a human, that they decide that she ends up having that strength that she lacks on Earth. It's genuinely quite touching. Then again, Jack Quaid, who voices Superman, also plays Huey in The Boys, so when it comes to being the more empathetic and generally loving hero that we know Superman should be, it's nice that he has that same energy as Huey in The Boys. And considering they work together to break through the simulation, naturally, the only thing Brainiac has left to do is to take over the Metallo units, who have kryptonite bullets, and for he himself to take over the entire Earth. Thankfully, this series doesn't go for the whole Kryptonians are bad mindset that I thought they were going to go for, especially considering that Brainiac is clearly operating under cold, hard logic rather than having any of the emotional stability that Jor-El and the other Kryptonians would have. That's the thing when it comes to relying on machines to settle your conflicts. They only operate on data and logic, and when that's all you operate on, you're bound to make some cold decisions that would end up causing you to become an absolutely heartless conqueror who only relies on the programming he's given, rather than anything that's related to humanity. The Kryptonians may have made Brainiac, but he was definitely the one who gave the whole race a bad rap when it comes to various alien worlds. So hopefully Superman and Supergirl can take him down and, prove that the Kryptonians are there for Earth's benefit after Brainiac is reduced to a bunch of nuts and bolts. But we have one more episode for that, so that seems like enough time for a final battle with Brainiac and an epilogue for the season. And possibly a lead into a third season if they were planning on it. But if this is all we're getting, I definitely think this is a pretty fun anime series to follow as a Superman fan. See you next time.